So this is going to be the third time that I've tried to record this video. Fourth if you count this morning when I thought about it and then didn't do it and completely forgot about doing it. Um, it's Friday, February 9th. It's my sister's birthday. Happy birthday to her. Uh, the thing that see what had happened this morning is that I woke up, had my coffee, kissed my wife as she left. I finished my coffee and I was like, all right, I need to get this raking done. So I was like, all right, I got focused on that real quick and and started raking. Then around about an hour and a half, 2 hours later, I realized that one, I forgot to actually do the video that I thought I was going to do real quick before I started raking. And two, I forgot my Fitbit, which uh, was really frustrating because I love tracking my steps. And then my wife called around 10:30, 11 and said that she was coming home early because she wasn't feeling great. And then here it is. It's currently quarter after 12, and she's just now telling me that she's actually coming home now because she had to wrap a couple things up. Uh, Yesterday was a fantastic day. I had two interviews, one of which was sort of planned, and the other one wasn't planned at all. The first one, the guy that called to schedule it was like, "Hey, we want to interview," and I said, "Cool, for what position?" And he said, "I don't know." So I went down and had probably the best interview that I've had yet out of all these. I think out of the two positions, that's the one that I would be happiest if I got, because there is a huge opportunity to grow and learn a whole lot from a whole bunch of like really professional project managers. Um, so I think that would be super duper cool to take part in and have that educational experience and to grow my own skill set. And then the other one was for a classified magazine-ish online magazine for classic cars, which seems like it would be super interesting, but it doesn't seem like there's as much career growth possibilities there. Um, so thinking long term, I probably want the one that I'm going to have, uh, room for growth and advancement. Then after I was done with that interview, I went and got the PMP frame that you see, yeah, right there. That's my PMP certification that I have a certificate. Or no, that's the certificate that proves I have the certification. It's even got a QR code on it that all it does is send you to their register of PMP members or holders, because apparently you can't like direct link to your own profile, which I find to be very frustrating. Because people are like, "Oh, where can we find you?" And I'm like, "All right, you have to go through this website, then look me up, and then just assume that the person that is on there is me. Like, I can show you a certificate. Like, that would suck for people named like John Smith. Like, I have a very unique name. There's like three or four other dudes in the entire country with my name. Uh, One of which is heavily tattooed and has a whole bunch of mugshots, and that definitely isn't me. And then the other one's up in like Tennessee, which is I've got family up there, so I might actually be related to that Adam. But regardless, it's frustrating. But I got the printout and the frame, and it looks exactly as I was hoping it would. It's gorgeous. It's fantastic. The certificate itself, like at joining the PMI, taking the test, doing all the studying, counting the college stuff that I did, the video courses, the prep books, the prep cards, the flashcards, all that jazz. It costs a large amount of money. Um, and then the certificate, when I went to go get it printed, the guy was like, "Well, this is going to be expensive, like $7 for two of them." And I was like, I can handle that expense." Like that's a rounding error in the larger scheme of what I'm doing here. And having that on the wall makes me feel good about like all the year and a half, 2 years that I spent doing all this jazz. So it was fantastic to finally get it printed, get it framed, get it up on the wall, and now it's on the wall with that. Wait, okay, finger there. That's Marvel Comics 1000, well, the Stan Lee version, And then that is a copy of the Spider-Man comic that mentions the URL that I was able to register because Marvel didn't register it themselves. I don't know. It seems weak. So I want to reach out to the artist or writer, whoever it was that actually put that in the comic, and see if I can't get like an interview or a comment from them. But then I came home and what else I did yesterday? Yeah, a whole bunch of like web stuff, like working on websites and moderating things and link spam comments and all that jazz. And then I started playing Helldivers 2 with a couple buddies last night, and that was fun. That was a thoroughly enjoyable experience. It is a slightly more ironic version of Starship Troopers. If you've seen the movie, that's like that jingoistic propaganda-ish, just over the top like propaganda, like the newsreel stuff. There's a whole bunch of that in this game, and it is amazing. I love it. Love every second of it. The problem is that my computer is now behind behind the times, so I really do need to save up to get myself a decent gaming computer. Uh, but hopefully, I get this job. It's gonna work out. I'll save some money. It'll be fantastic. Or maybe I could just like make all my sites like patron only, and then people that really want to see that content, they got to like fork over, $1. Yeah, that won't work. No one wants to pay for anything on the internet unless it's gonna like titillate them, excite them, or they get something physical out of it. Because like digital stuff, people are just like, nah, I don't want to pay for it. But it is what it is. Uh, so I've done a whole bunch of raking. I'm gonna do a whole bunch more raking. I've got everything except for like this like last 10% of the backyard, and it's gonna take forever to do because that last 10% is completely all just vines and a whole bunch of leaves and pine needles and tree bark just all mashed together, and all of it's like strongly connected to the ground. Um, Luckily, none of the vines have thorns in them. Earlier this morning, I found one vine on the opposite side of the yard that had thorns, and I just grabbed it and yanked, and it ended up like right in the soft pad of my finger, and it sucked. So I had to come inside and use these tweezers to pull it out. I still have one in one of these other fingers, but it doesn't hurt. So I'm just gonna let it get pushed out naturally, or maybe I'll go after it with a needle later on. But I don't need to address it now because it's not hurting me. But yeah, man, the thing was like right there, and it was like sticking out. And every time I moved my hand, like that sucker went like right through my gloves. Like I don't know, man. I don't know. These are good gloves, and I just don't know. It's just too much. Yeah. So more raking today. Probably playing more video games. Last night, one of my buddies made an overt offer of letting me borrow one of his computers. And he happened to say, "Hey, if you have an extra hard drive, you can just install all of your own stuff on there." Yada yada yada. And I coincidentally have a 2.5-inch 1 terabyte hard drive right here from the streaming laptop that is currently streaming the fish tanks. So that might work out. I need to coordinate with him and get the whole thing figured out. But yeah, this is relatively recent SATA drive. So by relatively recent, this is probably a 10-year-old hard drive. So not too recent. Um, yeah, okay. So then tomorrow, and I'll include Sunday on this as well. Tomorrow we're going to a FSU softball uh, series. It's called the Joanne Graf Classic, and I believe there's going to be 4 or 5 games that you buy tickets to it, and you sit through all the games. I think FSU is playing in 3 of those games, but FAMU, which is another softball team or a college here in town, they're also going to be playing down there for a couple games, and I think FSU is going to be playing FAMU as well. And I really don't mean to be disrespectful to FAMU because they do try their best, but there is such a disparity in technical skill between the teams every time they team up or they play off that it's good to see them out there playing, but I don't like seeing FSU run that score up as high as they do usually. It'll usually be like 15 or 20 to like 5 or 6. Like it's usually not a fun game to get to that seventh inning and see those double digit leads or something like that. Um, I think actually the last two games I saw they have a mercy rule where if you're a certain number of points over by like the fifth inning, by the end of the fifth, they just call the game. And I think they've used that rule the last couple times. So yeah, I'm hopeful. I really feel there's an opportunity there for FSU to help that team out off the competitive field, but I don't know the politics of that. But I think it would be cool to see like the two teams practice together and like learn from each other. I don't know, but that's going to be a long day on Saturday. I'm going to be wearing shirts like this that are sunscreen. Like this is supposed to have like an SPF rating. That's why I bought these. Um, and I'll also be wearing sunscreen and sunglasses and a big old hat, and because I'm very pale, and the sun is my mortal enemy, so I don't want to let the sun burn me. Um, but and then Sunday is a chore day, and I'll be doing laundry, changing bed sheets, vacuuming, cleaning glass, all that jazz. I was thinking about moving that to a different day, but it turns out that I Sunday has too much momentum because my wife is like got that in her head that that's chore day, which she's right, and it's fantastic when we're doing chores together. But uh, yeah, I think that's that. And then Monday, back at it, man. Gonna be applying for more jobs, hopefully having more interviews, talking to more people, doing more content on my sites. Yeah. And then Sunday and Monday, it's supposed to rain. So I won't be able to rake until Thursday or Friday of next week again. Yay.